Okay, 3.6 special program. I'm looking forward to this because I can't wait to get away from 3.5. It was absolutely miserable. And I really want to move on from it to something better. So let's see what we got going on.
I come from an ancient race. We have existed
Starting
for
right
a
off with
very long time.
With the trailer?
Possibly longer than any records in existence.
The history of dragons starts from the very beginning
Oh,
of
talking
Tibet.
about dragons now?
Dragon King?
We were victims of the apocalypse.
Who's talking?
We also became the apocalypse itself.
It sounds like a robot.
Is this what they've become after experiencing the apocalypse?
What, did dragons turn into
No
robots?
one can withstand the power of the apocalypse.
Is this a new abyss enemy?
Both of you have only existed for a fraction of what you know as time. Yet you call yourselves lords of this land by leaning on the heavens' glow.
Is there any way to avoid fighting them? Hey, wait!
And we got, what is this? What the heck? This seems like some kind of new boss fight. Oh, you know what? I wonder.
Death, and the world around us all follow a set of
Oh, we're getting
laws.
Baizu. I wonder if we're getting Kusanali's Story Quest 2 with the new weekly boss. That would
Bitter pill to swallow.
follow the trend they have been doing.
Taking a turn for the better.
Oh, Baizu has a shield.
Feast
Okay.
your eyes!
Kave
Watch and learn!
has a briefcase. Come on, you gotta hit enemies with the briefcase.
Sight clear!
I don't know what that was. I don't think that counts.
The competition is heating up. Oh,
heck
and
is
here's
this?
Kave bringing up the rear.
What's happening? A Parade of Providence.
So, let's get to our first redemption code, and in the meantime, everyone will also be able to check out some details about the version 3.6 event wishes.
Sounds good.
Oh, so now they're gonna show us the banners at the same time as the redemption codes. That's kind of nice. Just condense these things together. Got a new Baizu. So I wonder if Baizu's gonna be a healer. It looks like he gets a shield, but like he runs the pharmacy, right? That just screams healer, right? But I don't know, maybe he won't be.
When on the road, one should take ample time to pause and appreciate the wondrous scenery along the way.
You're about to collapse, aren't you? The doctor will see you now.
He just points at enemies and they take damage.
Taking a turn for the better.
That's funny looking. So he has a shield. Does he also heal? Okay.
In his search for discovering new treatments and cures, Baiju will often
Seamless
choose
shield.
to test new medicines on himself. As you spend time with Baiju in
With
the field,
healing effects.
you can make use of his knowledge of herbs and interact with certain harvestable items, which will heal your current active character.
So it's a shield and a heal.
Since
Okay.
Baiju is a doctor, I think it's pretty safe to say that most of his combat abilities are focused on healing, right?
Yep, that's right. Baiju's treatment in battle is usually
was he
performed
healing by
in two
picking
steps.
up
Step 1 is
materials?
to control a wandering sprite that cruises through the enemies and restores HP to his teammates. Step 2 is to create a shield. When the shield refreshes, ends, or is broken, not only will it provide healing, but it will also deal dendro damage to enemies.
What does Kave do? And why does he not hit people with his briefcase?
Come at me! Breaking new ground!
Yeah, none of that looks like he's hitting people with the briefcase.
Rock is pretty remarkable. It can even wield a sword for Kave.
Ooh,
That's a pretty
that
awesome
is charge
tool
attack?
box.
I know, right?
I like that.
Okay, so that should be
He actually has a unique charge attack.
How should I say this? I think his character has more depth
I wish
than
there
we
was more of
expected.
those.
Well, he is a distinguished architect from the Nation of
Even though
Wisdom.
it's still just a
so
spin attack.
We shouldn't underestimate him.
Yeah,
At least he does
Kave
it
will
in
be
a way.
appearing in the main event for version 3.6, so maybe we give some details about that next?
Oh, okay, I got this one. Our main event for version 3.6 is the Academia Extravaganza.
Oh,
In
we get a
addition
free
to
Pharaoh
the
Zone?
variety of celebrations,
Waynute activity has suddenly been on the rise, and the Academia is dispatching
Waynute?
researchers to
Is
respond
that
to
how
the
we're
problem.
supposed to pronounce that?
this time we'll be helping scholars clear the desert of obstructions, assemble the Waynute Slayer cannon, and repel the Wandering Waynute.
Okay, what do we have? Let's go through this now. We have Nymph's Dream, Hydro Damage. After normal charge and plunging attack, elemental skills, and elemental burst, basically anything you do hits an opponent, one stack of Mirrored Nymph will be triggered, lasting 8 seconds. When under the effect of 1, 2, or 3 or more Mirrored Nymph stacks, attack will be increased by increasing amounts, and Hydro Damage bonus will also be increased by increasing amounts. Mirrored Nymph stacks created by normal charge, plunging attacks, elemental skills, elemental burst exist independently. Okay. It seems like only 3 stacks matter, because they only list 3 different numbers for the bonus damages you get. So, a set for Hydro characters that also want attack. Okay, that's nice. I like that set. That's a set that could be used on multiple people. And then we have Vorukasha's Glow. HP plus 20%. And elemental skill and burst damage will be increased by 10%. After the equipping character takes damage, the aforementioned damage bonus is increased by 80% for 5 seconds. This effect increase can have 5 stacks. The duration of each stack is counted independently. These effects can be triggered even when the equipping character is not on the field. So is this the supposed Dia set I kept hearing rumors about? You get an 80% bonus, and it's 5 stacks. So essentially, it's an 80%, but of the 10%. So it's really like an 8%. So with 5 stacks, that goes to 40%. So it can increase the damage bonus by 50% at max stacks. Just looking at this purely for Dia, I mean, her skill, you don't really care about her skill doing more damage. And as for her burst, I mean, you have to get max stacks on this to reach a 50% bonus. I feel like you'd rather just run Emblem set on her. I mean, that does require you to put a bunch of energy recharge on her, but doesn't require you to take damage, which, I mean, she can do easily. But at the same time, you're not always going to be taking damage. I'd prefer something that just always gives its effects rather than something I have to make sure I go out of my way to trigger its effects. And seeing how this is pretty much only for Dia, because like no other character is going to go out of their way to take damage since they have to take individual hits from enemies. And the stacks only last 5 seconds. And they're counted independently, so yeah, you wouldn't even be able to stack this up on someone besides Dia. I guess like Zhao could use it, but I don't think you're going to use it. This does nothing for Zhao. So this is essentially exclusively a Dia set, which makes it absolutely terrible. Because sets that are only useful for one character are garbage and not worth farming.
Yeah, we are back and ready to show an all-new
New
area
area.
being added to the game.
That's right, and I
Tell me
hope
about
you're
it.
all as excited as we are. This area
love
is
new
located
areas.
deep in the desert, in the northwest of the desert of Hadramaveth. According to legends,
northwest?
it was
Ooh,
one of
did
the
we go through
main
that
rifts
cave?
that monsters were emerging from during the Conria disaster 500 years ago, and the site of a battlefield where God suppressed the power of the abyss.
Interesting.
Although it was originally desert, the ecological system has completely changed due to the power of the abyss, and it has become a large, uninhabited area of swamps and wastelands.
Ooh.
So, you're saying that we might be able to uncover some buried secrets
place
about
looks cool.
Conria there? On second thought, it kinda sounds like it might be dangerous.
Yeah,
Luckily, we have some little helpers
What
to
the
assist
heck?
us in our search. There will be a Pari named Sorush waiting for us that will lend us its abilities, allowing travelers to freely fly across parts of the area and access some locations that would be impossible on foot.
That's interesting.
We'll be able to fly around now?
Yeah,
She moves
this will be
really
your chance
slowly,
to
though.
fulfill your dream, Zach.
Yes!
Oh, you can poop on
After
rocks?
helping Sorush recover its
Amazing.
power, there will be a small event for travelers to help it continue its training. We will guide Sorush to drive away enemies, conduct
Yeah,
speed
poop on those
training,
bombs.
and complete puzzles, so be sure to check it out. Travelers may also encounter a new enemy
Ooh,
during
look at
their
this guy.
journey in version 3.6, the Iniquitous Baptist. Its abilities include using multiple elements in battle and creating shields for corresponding elements to reduce damage.
Interesting.
It definitely looks like it'll be a formidable enemy.
That's not all. We have two
Like
more
if you fuse
interesting enemies
multiple,
that
like,
travelers will encounter.
Herald
the Animo and
dudes together.
Hydro Hilichurl rogues.
What the heck?
These Hilichurls are wandering across Teyvat.
Hold on, what did he say?
We have two more interesting enemies that travelers will encounter. The Animo and Hydro Hilichurl rogues.
Animo and Hydro
These Hilichurls are
rogues.
wandering across Teyvat and do not belong to any particular Hilichurl tribe. Sometimes they assist other Hilichurls or tribes in need of help.
They look
And they
totally
also have a
different.
unique combat style.
Some clues related to
Is this the
Conradar
first time
are
we've had a new
also waiting to be
Hilichurl enemy?
uncovered here, so it's definitely worth exploring.
At least
And
like a
last but
completely
not
new
least,
type and not
in
just
version
a
3.6,
elemental variation
the
on an
legendary
old type.
dragon of Verger, Apep, will appear. The dragon of Verger was once an emerald green dragon that ruled Sumeru, but its color later changed to that of yellow sand. Recently,
Is this a new
it
weekly
seems to be
boss?
suffering from some kind of illness. Travelers will be making their way to the Dendro Dragon's habitat to face it in battle, so we must be very careful. The battle will be split into 3 phases. An interesting part to take note of is that in
Whoa,
the second phase of the
that
fight,
looks cool.
travelers will need to protect the Dendro Dragon from monsters in order to prevent the dragon's illness from getting any worse.
Huh.
Wait, what?
Interesting.
Different.
Yes, and in the third phase, the Dendro Dragon will unleash some extremely powerful attacks.
So we gotta
travelers
beat it
will
up
need to be
and then
careful to
protect it from
avoid
other things
those.
beating it up.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you'd like to learn more about the Dendro Dragon, then be sure to check out Chapter
Oh,
2
there
of
it is.
Nikita's story quest.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
So it is front. She is getting a
I
second
think there'll
story
be a
quest,
lot
and
of
the new
interesting
weekly
things for
boss is
travelers
part
to
of
learn
it.
in this
Okay.
one. So be sure to look forward to it.
Absolutely. And that's about all we have for new content in the upcoming
At least
version.
I assume it's a weekly
But
boss. They didn't
before
say
we
that.
wrap things up, we have an announcement regarding
But that is the
Genshin
trend
Impact's
that we've
music.
been having in the
second
past.
album for the Sumeru
Ashtaha
region, titled
and
The
the Raiden boss
Unfathomable
fight
Sand Dunes, will also be
being
releasing
unlocked by a
soon.
second story
Oh,
quest of their
nice.
archives.
Nice, I love the Sumeru region music.
So 3.6 is looking really nice. We're getting a new area, 2 new bosses, one of which I am assuming is a new weekly boss, though they didn't say that, so I guess there's a chance that it's not. So, Nihida Nilu reruns. That's really good for anyone who wanted Nihida and missed out on her. She's a very strong, very popular character. And we have Baizu and Ganyu. So Baizu seems to be a shielder and a healer, while also like boosting his allies' reaction damage, it said. They didn't really explain his kit very well, I feel like, when they talked about him. Because I have no idea what his skill in his burst are. Like he has some kind of shield, some kind of heal. But I assume he'll be pretty good if he can shield, heal, and boost your damage. The new area looks really nice. I can't wait to explore this. And hopefully we'll finally be able to max out our freaking statue and tree in Sumeru with this place added. They mentioned it's in the northwest of the previous desert, and I wonder if we're gonna get there by going through that one cave, because there's a cave in the northwest of that desert. It has like a giant opening in it with a bright light that we can't go to. I wonder if that leads to this zone. And as usual, we have a various set of events, some of which look decent, some of which look incredibly boring. But all in all, I think 3.6 is looking like a really good update, and I can't wait for it. Okay, I think that's everything, so until next time, I will see you later.